Anti-Meme has managed to dig an entirely new set of deleted scenes out of the Quarry's files, which means it's as good a time as any to check out his Boosty account, where all of his cut content work is available. There's 34 new scenes showing off deleted moments from the entirety of the game's running time, including more Emma and Abby, character building for Dylan, and even an alternate death for Constance. What most intrigued me, though, were these scenes from the start of the game, featuring Chris and Ryan. Why? It's simple. A big part of the game's final act is built around Ryan having faith in Chris, and not believing that he could possibly be involved in any of the werewolf shenanigans that make up most of the game's running time. What we're never shown is just why Ryan feels that way about Chris. We get a brief scene about him telling Ryan to dial it back on the scary stories, which, while funny, seems like a weird note to give on the last day of camp after all the kids have left. There was originally a lot more to this scene, which we're going to check out now and then discuss.
Зря время тратим. Мы оба это знаем.
Ти звонил?
Нет, должен был.
Затих он.
Видимо, не высовывается. И, кстати, чем дольше я с тобой болтаю, тем позже избавлюсь от этих чертовых детей.
Держи меня в курсе. Все, держи в курсе.
Да, конечно. Адьос.
This would have been such a nice addition to the game. At this point, we really don't know who T is, but they can't reach him because he's been drugged or shot by Laura, which makes this a setup for something that's going to pay off 6 hours later. It's too bad we didn't get to see it. Then we get an expanded conversation about Ryan's question in regards to his future.
Открыл фургон, сунул ключи в карман, пришел в офис.
Так, школа анимации.
Школа анимации, да-да-да. Вот тебе вопрос на миллион. Чего хочешь ты?
Я так-то надеялся на ваш совет.
Забавно.
В смысле?
С каких это пор других касается, чего хочешь ты? К тому же, что я знаю? Я даже не могу вспомнить, куда положил чертовы... Там, где оставил.
Ага.
This is a great character bit for Chris, clearly trying to figure out the least harmful thing to say while he's got way more important things on his mind. We get a depiction of him as a guy who seems to genuinely care about Ryan, but he's just too distracted to be really helpful. And it also sets up this scene.
Извини, что тогда не закончили наш разговор.
Что?
Анимация. Знаешь, дерзай. Надо думать о себе.
Но вы говорили, что семья важна.
Да, семья — это самое важное. Но иногда нужно делать, что должен. Ага. Ты сможешь. И мне нужно, чтобы ты мне помог.
Ладно.
Убедись, что ночью все будут сидеть в коттедже.
Where it turns out that he actually does have useful advice for Ryan. Follow your dreams, sure. Family's important. But you can't let your devotion for them destroy you. Which is an incredibly meaningful point, given what's been going on with the Hacketts for the past few years. It also adds a level of guilt to Ryan, because he specifically promised Chris that he would keep everybody in the lodge overnight, and his failure to do that is what gets a bunch of people killed. I'm absolutely baffled by these cuts. There's stuff in here where I can say, okay, sure, I get why that's missing. But this is one interesting setup that has a great payoff later, and 2 fantastic scenes of character work between Chris and Ryan that serves to deepen their relationship and explain why Ryan is so desperate to save Chris later in the game. Chris is a guy who believes in him and is genuinely supportive, so of course Ryan wants to be there for him in return. I'm genuinely sad that this was cut, since it adds depth to a relationship that wasn't fully explored in the game. Now that's just a glimpse of the over 15 minutes of new scenes that you can check out now. Head over to Anti-Meme's Boosty page, link in the description if you're curious, and meet me back here for more Quarry talk soon. For now, though, I've been the Hidden Object Guru. Thanks for watching. If you had a good time and you'd like to see more, there's buttons coming up to help with that. Questions, comments, your own thoughts on the cut content, go in the comments section below the video. Play my game Clown in the Woods over at itch.io. We'll see you back here for more Supermassive Games videos, but until then, I'll say that's right. Au revoir.